Hi and welcome to my channel. So today we'll highlight some of the positive sides of being in Sweden, and top of that list is free education, of course. You can access the education services in Sweden if you have a resident or if you have a work permit. And I think this can be wonderful so that while you're in Sweden and you're working, you can make yourself more appealing to the employers. And also, you may decide to go and pursue maybe other career opportunities, like go to professional schools, and this will of course give you a hands-on experience. The second reason why I think Sweden is wonderful is the free healthcare. Mostly sometimes if you discover that you have a serious ailment, you do not need to worry about, or how much is this going to cost me in case I go to the hospital, or if your children are sick, how you don't have to sit up all night long worrying about how much the medical bill is going to cost. You can just find yourself to the nearest hospital, and if you find yourself in a hospital which is not in your address or in your area of jurisdiction, you may pay 400 krona for registration, and that will be just about it. Another factor that makes Sweden such a cool country is the availability of trade unions. Trade unions are there to make sure that your working conditions are safe. Trade unions are, sometimes very valuable. For example, when it comes to renewing your work permit, they have to sign off on your workers agreement to make sure that it meets the collective bargaining threshold in that town that you work in. They also help to ensure that you have a good salary that meets the minimum wage, or that meets the amount of work that you're being employed for. Sometimes joining a trade union may not necessarily be detrimental to your employer, but it can also help you. For example, if you're being laid off, they can come to an agreement to see what kind of severance packages that you can get. But if you're alone by yourself and you're trying to negotiate with the employer, this can sometimes be, The other reason why I think Sweden is so cool is the parental leave. Of course, I think you get about 1 year that is divided between the parents. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's around that. The other cool aspect of being in Sweden is that during tax declaration, if you have subscribed to the digital mailbox, you get to declare your tax using your bank ID. I think this is awesome. For example, for private individuals, you can declare your tax in less than 5 minutes. You do not have to go and pay a CPA in another place and pay them some money so that they can do your taxes for you. So I think this really is fun. So you can just use your bank ID and then submit your tax declaration for that year. So this can be really cool. I think this might be different for for businesses. Obviously they have to use a CPA to declare their taxes. But for private individuals, I think it's awesome that you can just declare your tax using bank ID, and you don't have to worry about paying some person money, to do the tax for you. The other factor that makes Sweden really cool is perhaps you have seen the way people in Sweden communicate. The communication in Sweden is quite precise and direct. You don't take too much time explaining yourself and some things that are not needed. So when you're communicating, communication is usually a straight line, and it's precise and to the point, and so that makes it really wonderful. So you don't have to be second guessing, what did this gentleman say, or what is he trying to imply? So I think this really is important. A case in point is if you have witnessed some of the government websites and you see how they're structured. For example, maybe let's say the transport department, if you go and see their websites and you see how their wording is structured, how the information is provided, most of the information that's provided there is quite precise and direct to the point, and you can easily understand it. You don't take so much time trying to figure out what exactly are they trying to say. So I think that even if it's very hidden, makes it really cool. That is the nuances or the communication that is direct and straight to the point. So I really like that. And the final reason why I think Sweden is really cool is the winter. No, winter is not cool at all. But I think by the time I start talking about winter, it means I've exhausted all, according to me, the positive sides of being Sweden. But I'd like to leave the floor to you. Leave down in the comments what are some of the reasons that make Sweden a very appealing country for you. And yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and just leave a comment. Thank you, and see you in the next one.